Hello and welcome to Star TV Newsroom, broadcasting from our studios in Canifing along the OIC Highway. Thanks for joining us, and here are our headlines tonight. GPA inaugurates new staff association executive to champion employee welfare. Hackathon road safety drive intensifies. Hope for Health launches with free screening. Over 20 suspects arrested in nationwide operation. On the international front, police use tear gas on protesters in Kampala. South Korea's ex-president Yoon given 5-year term in martial law case. Those were the headlines, and now the news in detail. The Gambia Post Authority (GPA) and Airport Banjul reached a significant milestone on Thursday as the newly elected members of its staff's association were officially sworn into office during a ceremony held at the Banjul seaport. As our Modu El Baji reports, the event was attended by port officials and staff members, marks a new chapter for the workforce at the country's primary maritime gateway. Details in this report.
We, the executive members of the Staff Association of Alport Banjul, solemnly swear to faithfully discharge our duties.
The newly inaugurated executive body is now set to take the helm of the association, carrying the mandate to advocate for the interests of the diverse personnel working within the authority. The primary mission of the incoming leadership is to ensure that staff welfare remains a top priority. Speaking during the ceremony, representatives of both the Gambia Ports Authority and Alport Management emphasized that the association will act as a vital link between the employees and management, fostering a transparent and supportive professional environment.
So I will urge you to work on your constitution. It needs to be amended to reflect on current activities. This constitution was, if you remember, it's almost more than a decade. So we have to at least update it so that it is at par with what currently updates. So I believe you will take note of that. And I will conclude my speech by just giving a small advice, that in the sense that, just as I told you when we met at the MD's office, you were the respective people that selected them, or nominated them, or elected them, whatever. So I expect you to give them your maximum support.
You are elected to take the mantle from where it was dropped. Whether they did a good job or not, at the end of the day, we expect to see an improvement on what has been delivered by the previous staff association. Do not hesitate to know, including myself, that will be on your toes and look out for things that we think were wrongly done. And don't be taking for granted that we're going to watch and just keep quiet. As staff members, we're not going to be operating as management, but as people who are looking for things that we think we ought to have and provided by the staff association, and it was not done properly. We hope and wish you to serve us in this period that you're starting today in the best way you can.
The president of the Gambia Port Authority Staff Association, Iliman Mane, hailed the association members for the trust bestowed on them to serve. He assured the association's commitment to staff's welfare.
GPA Staff Association exists for a clear purpose: to protect staff welfare, to promote institutional harmony, and to complement the efforts of management and the board in strengthening the performance of Gambia Ports Authority as an institution. We are advocates for enhanced staff welfare and not opponents. We are partners in development and not opponents. Our mission is unity and not division. Our advocacy is grounded in simple truth, that when staff are valued, represented and supported, institutions.
The Alport Banjul Staff Association President Adama Jata also shared similar sentiments, pledging for capacity building initiatives and effective coordination.
Guest, staff welfare remains a central pillar of industrial harmony and operational excellence. A workforce that is secure, motivated, and treated with fairness is a workforce that delivers results. Under the Alport concession, we are witnessing some investments in infrastructure, systems, and equipment. These investments are visible and commendable. However, sustainable success requires that equal attention be given to the welfare of the people who operate, maintain, and protect these assets. Staff welfare, terms and conditions of service, health and safety, training, career progression, and job security is not merely a social obligation. It is a strategic necessity.
The new Staff Association members were presented with their confirmation letters, underscoring their assumption of duty. As the new executive begins its term, members are looking forward to proactive engagements that will improve working conditions, healthcare benefits, and professional development opportunities for all port employees.
Association. At all times.
At all times.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
For Star TV, I am Mutu El Baji.
Road safety campaign along the newly constructed 84-kilometer Hakalan Highway is no longer just a message, it's a movement as the campaign intensifies. Communities from Kirchorno to Kuntaya are stepping forward with urgency and unity, embracing the call to protect their road, their life, and their future. More in this report. With banners in hand and posters on display, facilitators are crisscrossing the North Bank region, trading podiums for compounds and ceremony for conversations. Their mission to ensure every driver, elder, student, and resident understands not just how to use the road, but how to value and safeguard it. The latest phase of the campaign launched in Kirchorno, where facilitators were welcomed by a cross-section of community, young and old, gathered using vibrant banners and institution posters. The team engaged villagers about the road safety, the meaning of traffic signs, and the dangers of speeding. Children participated in role play while elders shared stories of past road challenges, drawing a powerful contrast with the opportunities the newly highway now offers. From Kirchorno, the team proceeded to Bafaloto, where they converted at the Alcalos compound. The gathering brought together drivers and youth leaders. Facilitators emphasized the importance of community-led monitoring and the role of local leadership in sustaining the gains of the Hakalan project. A pivotal moment unfolded in Jurunko, where the team was hosted at the residence of the chief, Chati, Alcalos, and village development community chairpersons from across the region gathered to hear the facilitators' message. The team presented strategies for community patrols, youth-led awareness, and school-based education. The leaders pledged to integrate road safety into their local development agendas, recognizing the highway as a shared responsibility. In Chila, the campaign team was met with enthusiasm as villagers turned out in numbers. Facilitators reiterated key message on pedestrian safety, the danger of overspeeding, and the need to report damage or missing road signs. The final stop was at Kuntaya, where the campaign culminated with a vibrant community forum. The facilitators reflected on the journey, acknowledging the resilience and responsiveness of the communities they had visited. Throughout the campaign, facilitators used colorful banners and illustrated posters to enforce their presentations. These posters displayed at the village centers, schools, and road sign gatherings helped bridge literacy gaps and spark meaningful dialogue. The Hakalang Highway is more than a road. It is a symbol of progress, unity, and shared responsibility. The facilitators left behind not just posters and pamphlets, but a growing movement of informed citizens committed to safety. The journey may have ended in Kuntaya, but the campaign's impact is only beginning to take root. One village, one voice, one safe step at a time. For Star TV, this is Omar Job. The newly launched Hope for Health Foundation has taken a bold step in tackling non-communicable disease in the Gambia. Its inaugural outreach offered free hypertension and diabetes screening to undeserved communities, signaling a strong commitment to accessible healthcare for all. More in this report by Lamin Bach.
Established in 2013, the Hope for Health Foundation is a non-profit organization dedicated to improving access to healthcare services. particularly for vulnerable and sick individuals across the country. The foundation aims to bridge gaps in healthcare delivery by supporting patients who cannot afford essential medical services. Speaking at the event on behalf of the Honorable Chairman of the Brikama Area Council, the Vice Chairman, Mr. Cherno Ismaila Jallo, commended the foundation for its long-standing commitment to public health and community well-being. Also addressing the gathering, Honorable Lamin K. Sise noted that the occasion marked two important milestones that reflect the foundation's invaluable contribution to the health sector. He recalled that since its establishment in 2013, Hope for Health Foundation has consistently worked to improve access to healthcare by supporting patients in need.
Hope for Health Foundation was established to stand in that gap between illness and care, between poverty and dignity, between despair and hope. What is our mission? Hope for Health Foundation, our mission is to improve access to healthcare for poor and vulnerable population, supporting patients with medical bills, diagnostics, and also medication.
An advisory committee member of Hope for Health Foundation, Professor Jenaba Sisao, emphasized the importance of strong ethical values and strategic planning in the operations of health-focused organizations. She stressed that access to quality healthcare is a fundamental right and should be available to all Gambians, regardless of their social or economic status.
The Hope for Health Foundation has the opportunity to become a trusted platform for innovation, advocacy, and ethical actions in healthcare. By remaining anchored on these values and responsive to community needs, it can contribute significantly towards national health goals and the need to the broader pursuit for social justice.
Meanwhile, Honorable Shehu Omar Fofana, Director of Health and Operations at VDF, highlighted the critical role non-government organizations play in complementing government efforts in the health sector. He noted that the ultimate objective of such projects is to strengthen and support existing government health services for the benefit of the wider population. From an international perspective, Madam Erika Van Dijk, an emergency care nurse from the Netherlands, spoke on the power of partnerships in healthcare delivery. She shared a touching account of one of their interventions in Makumbaya, where the foundation and its partners assisted a bedridden man who was severely ill and isolated, as community members feared contracting his illness. According to her, such interventions demonstrate the life-saving impact of compassion, collaboration, and community-based healthcare.
There was a young boy who climbed a mango tree, and unfortunately he fell down and got paralyzed from the waist down. This was giving problems for the whole family, not only financial, but in all kind of ways. Because he became incontinent, so he could not hold his feces, he could not hold his urine. He was lying on a bed, on the floor, a thin mattress, like a sponge. So he was incontinent and all the urine and feces was going in.
The launch of Hope for Health Foundation's activities is expected to strengthen community health services and raise awareness about the prevention and management of hypertension and diabetes, two of the leading non-communicable diseases in the Gambia. Lamin Ba, Star TV News.
In a sweeping anti-narcotic operation spanning multiple regions of the country, law enforcement authorities have arrested over 20 individuals in connection with the possession and trafficking of various suspected illicit drugs, including cannabis, sativa, kush, skunk, ecstasy, hash, and cocaine. The arrest, which occurred in January, marked one of the most extensive drug enforcement actions in recent years. More details in the report by Mohamed Silla.
The most significant seizure involved 49-year-old Lamine Sane, a resident of Kanilai, who was apprehended on January 10th at approximately 5:45 a.m. Authorities discovered 150 bundles and additional quantities of suspected cannabis sativa concealed in cement paper and stashed inside 5 white and blue flower socks. Other notable arrests include Umaru Kamara, 31 years old, a Sierra Leonean residing in Bakote, arrested on January 7th with 1 small bag of suspected skunk and 11 bags of suspected kush. Yaya Jaune, 20 years old of Brufut, caught at the beach on January 7th with 5 parcels of suspected cannabis sativa, 11 bags of suspected skunk, and 181 wraps of suspected kush, and 24 pills of suspected ecstasy. Ibrahim Ajabi, 29 years old of Birkama Nyambai, arrested the same day with 18 pieces of suspected hashish and 138 suspected ecstasy pills. Eliman Sise, 34 years old of Sinchu Nyungari, found with 6 bundles and 58 wraps of suspected cannabis sativa on January 8. Musa Abaji, 23 years old of Kaba village, intercepted near Jenia with 15 bundles of suspected cannabis sativa on an unregistered motorcycle. Abdullah Mane, 25 years old of Talinding, arrested at Bara Ferry Terminal with 2 bundles of suspected cannabis sativa. Keba Sumare, 23 years old of Busumbara, found with 12 small bags of suspected kush. Lamin Ture, 37 of Bakau, caught with 30 wraps of suspected cannabis sativa and 59 wraps of kush hidden in a green shirt. Matar Kamara of Talinding, arrested with 24 wraps of suspected cannabis sativa. Muhammad Mar, 21 years old of Talinding. Muhammad Mar, 21 years old of Talinding, found with 4 bags and 3 pieces of suspected skunk and 15 ecstasy pills. Alaji Keita, 22 years old of Dar es Salaam, apprehended near Manduar with 3 bundles of suspected cannabis sativa on an unregistered motorcycle. Seni Kanyi, 21 years old of Sankuya, caught with 5 stones of suspected cracks cocaine. Seku Bari of Berawuleng, arrested with 20 wraps of suspected cannabis sativa. Yasin Muhammad, 35 years old, a Tunisian resident in Bursubi, found with 1 wraps of suspected cocaine in Manjai. Jacob Jata, a 24 years old of Katong, caught with 10 pills of suspected ecstasy. Matar Sambu, 28 years old of Ibo Town, arrested in Senegambia with 4 bags of suspected skunk. Sajo Jallo, 18 years old of Talinding, found at Westfield with 30 bags of suspected skunk. Yusfa Sedi, 22 years old of Jambur, arrested at Tanje Garage with 93 wraps of suspected kush. Modulamin Kujab, 36 of Tanje, found with 6 parcels of suspected cannabis sativa. Sana Keta, a 31 years old of Jareng, caught with 12 wraps of suspected cannabis sativa. Buba Bayo, 20 years old of Sinchusori, arrested with 35 wraps of suspected cannabis sativa hidden in a hat. All suspects are currently in custody as investigations continue. Authorities reaffirmed their commitment to combating drug trafficking and ensuring public safety across the nation. Mohammed Silla reporting for Star TV News.
We will take a short break now. When we return, we will bring you the latest from the world.